I welcome you to this module 10, on the topic the Ascension of Jesus Christ according to Acts of the Apostles chapter 1 from verse 6 to 11. On the last topic, we treated the resurrection and the appearances of Jesus. Jesus Christ appeared to many people after his resurrection from the dead. He made different appearances in Jerusalem and its surroundings, and also in Galilee. These various appearances are recorded in the synoptic gospels. But today, at the end of this lesson, we should be able to know the meaning of ascension, the promises of Jesus to his disciples on the coming of the Holy Spirit, and the Great Commission. Jesus Christ appeared to many people after his resurrection from the dead. He made different appearances in Jerusalem and its surroundings, and also in Galilee. These various appearances are recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, Luke, and John, like I've said earlier. According to Matthew, the women disciples who went to the tomb on the third day after the burial of Jesus to anoint the body of Jesus were told by an angel that Jesus had risen from dead. They were to tell the disciples to go to Galilee where they would meet him. On their way to tell the disciples, the women met Jesus himself, who greeted them. They fell down and worshipped him. Jesus told them not to be afraid and repeated the message for the disciples to meet him in Galilee. And again, Jesus also appeared to his disciples in a room and said to them, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, even so I sent you." Then Jesus breathed on them and said to them to receive the Holy Spirit. One of the disciples, Thomas, was not present when Jesus appeared to the rest, and when he was told, he did not believe. He said, unless he sees Jesus, that is when he will believe. But during that time, Jesus also gave them the Great Commission. The Great Commission, the disciples went to Galilee to wait for Jesus Christ as he has instructed. Immediately after his resurrection, they assembled on a particular mountain which Jesus pointed out to them. They waited patiently for Jesus to appear. When he appeared, the disciples worshipped him. Jesus then gave them the Great Commission concerning their preaching and the teaching and baptism of the whole world. He said to them, "All authorities in heaven and on earth have been given to you. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always to the close of the ages." This Great Commission that was given to the disciples served as a mount of leadership. That is, they have to begin from where Jesus Christ stopped. And remember, they were limited. They were to baptize to ensure that that person have been automatically converted to Christianity. And also, while they were with Jesus, Jesus also made them to understand the need for the Holy Spirit, because the important thing is that they will receive power, and after that the Holy Spirit will come upon them. They would be witness to him in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and the uttermost part of the world. So he also led them to know the importance of the Holy Spirit, which was the promise that he made to them while on the mountain, that with the help of this Holy Spirit they can move mountains, they can do the undoable. They can make miracles. So, in other words, the coming of the Holy Spirit also empowers the disciples to do their work. Like after we were told, after the ascension of Jesus, on the ascension of Jesus into heaven, we were told that Peter spoke to the people, and we were aware that 3,000 men were converted after he has. So that is to tell you that the Holy Spirit, the coming of the Holy Spirit, is very, very important in the life of the disciples. Then after, when Jesus must have told them that, Jesus said to them, the time, because the apostles were asking questions on when the kingdom will come back. But Jesus then told them that it's only the God in heaven that we know. They still had their eyes fixed on them in heaven. After saying this, he was taken up to heaven as they watched him, and a cloud hid him from their sight. But still, they still had their eyes fixed on the sky as he went away. When two men dressed in white suddenly stood beside them and said, "Galileans, why are you standing there looking up at the sky? This Jesus who was taken from you into heaven will come back in the same way that you saw him go to heaven." So the ascension of Jesus Christ, in other words, is a sign as Christians that one day we shall also meet Jesus in heaven. Then the moral lessons to derive. Number one, the ascension indicates that Jesus would no longer be with the disciples in the flesh but in spirit. That is by the sending of the Holy Spirit. You must learn to fulfill the Great Commission by bringing others to Jesus. 3. You must learn to win people to Jesus through devotion to him in word and in deed. Also, the coming of the Holy Spirit marked the beginning of the Christian church and the continual presence of Jesus in the life of the people. So, the ascension of Jesus is very important in our lives. At this point, we come to the end of the lesson, and I hope to see you again in the next class. Have a nice time.